Then we'll begin. Okay, welcome back to another episode. Welcome to Rise with you on the Mango 2 Real Estate channel. So today we have a new project coming up. It's RCR project, District 21. So actually very excited. So of course today we have, I have my co-host, Charlene Ho.
Hi.
The claps part. Wow, that was loud. Oh my god,
wow,
so sorry.
that hurts.
That was very loud. Okay, then of course we have Amanda as well.
Hello, I'm Amanda.
So previously we did UK and I would consider it a very good success back then. A lot of viewers. So this one is up to Nava Grove this time. Okay, so let me give a brief description about Nava Grove. Okay, so Nava Grove was developed by MCL and Cinemas Land. So this one is actually situated in District 21. So what we consider RCR project. And then this well, in terms of unit type, we're looking over at 500 over units, 552 units. One of the feature, ladies, is actually the Henry Park, which we'll talk more into afterwards, Henry Park. So far, Nava Grove has also announced of their recent price, which actually got a lot of buyers interested.
Wow.
Okay, so maybe perhaps looking into this area, some buyer sentiments is that location-wise, it is far away from MRT. So in terms of MRT station, the nearest MRT station we have is Dover.
Okay.
Right, Dover, and then it's at least 1 km away. Okay, but the developers did mention that they will have a 2 years shuttle bus services towards Holland Village.
Wow.
And one more MRT station for 2 years. So compared to a nearby project, which is slightly longer lah. Nearby project is only 1 year. So in terms of MRT station, what are your thoughts? Would it affect the prices in the area?
Okay, for me, right, I personally feel that in this location, just specifically this vicinity, right, the people are not so concerned about public transport.
Okay.
Because I have units in the older developments behind this plot of land, and the buyers that come in and take a look, right, they have never asked about where is that public transport. Or if they do ask, and I'll just tell them that, you know, there's a bus stop that's actually right outside the condo, they are perfectly like okay and happy with that answer. Yeah, so most of them, they drive. Yeah, because actually, although we are at Ulu Pandan area, but we are at the edge of the D10 location already, where behind this plot of land actually are all landed enclaves as well. So because of that, right, most of the people that even buy into the older developments that's behind the Nava Grove parcel, they are all mostly generational families that came from the landed estates. And then they buy into this area. So all of them are very comfortable with not having public transport to begin with. Yeah, so this is the demographic that I saw when I was doing my resale in that location. Yeah. So in terms of having this slight inconvenience of not having an MRT, I don't think it impacts the purchasers that are already interested in this location to begin with.
Okay, what about you, Amanda?
I used to think that it's a concern when I first entered the industry. Just as a lay person, I always thought like, oh dear, this plot is not near the MRT. But subsequently, as I meet a lot of clients that are in the area, or even those staying in D10 looking into this Ulu Pandan area, I realized like what Charlene say, public transport system is not something that is key to them. In fact, it might be a value to them. Why I say so is because whenever we are close to amenities, it also comes to the question where there will be traffic. And a lot of times, this group of buyers, what they value is a private enclave to stay in, a fully residential area to stay in. So in fact, I have met one of my clients when I first met her. We went to see both reserve residences as well as Pine Tree Hill. So a lot of us would think that, you know, reserve residences may seem like a better buy. But to her, reserve residences is a sure no-go for her own stay, because she value the, you know, she value her privacy, and being in a quiet area.
I think that's true. Actually, one point Amanda brought is actually I also thought, you know, some areas you have MRT, then it's a bonus. But I also realized that this plot, similar to the neighbor Pine Tree, actually has a different strategy. It's not just all about the MRT station, but we'll get more into it afterwards. Okay, so next point, buyer sentiments is up north of Nava Grove, it's actually Clementi Forest. Okay, so right now, it's the forest lah. But in planning phase, in according to the master plan, it has already been zoned residential. Okay, so some people feel that perhaps view can be compromised. That may be possible. The other thing is, from another perspective, is that you are the first owner into this. Maybe I call a new township, minor township. Like, how do you think this new characteristic of this Clementi Forest affects your future prices of Nava Grove?
In fact, when I was looking at the master plan while studying Nava Grove, I was really excited about this land that has been zoned as residential, because the key challenge, there's many good things that we can say about Nava Grove, about Ulu Pandan area, right? But the key challenge is always in terms of transportation, which was the point that we talked about earlier, and the lack of amenities. So with residential coming in at where Clementi Forest is where Clementi Forest is situated right now, it actually addressed the concern that some people have pertaining to the area. So in a way, I see it as a perfect, like it actually perfects the entire project itself.
That's true. What about you, Shah?
I also think that we should look at this in a more positive manner than a negative. I think number one thing that makes me feel very safe about making this purchase, even if there is going to be more residential coming out, is that the government, I mean, aside from, yes, we want to have more human traffic in this area, we want to create a new township, but you also realize that compared to other countries, right, no matter where we go, because I serve quite a few foreigners, when they come in, they're like, oh my God, no matter which development I go to, there's enough greenery in that development to not make me feel like this is a concrete jungle. Yeah, and the government do place like I wouldn't say like regulations, but it's just like there's a certain amount of green that has to be in a development before they approve it. Right? So I think that yes, maybe if for a permanent unblock view, maybe not so much in the future. But I think the other side of things is that if the government is going to create a new mini township in Ulu Pandan area using Clementi Forest, then definitely we will see more amenities coming up. They won't just build a bunch of random residential and then just leave it as residential, right? So we will definitely expect more amenities to come up in the near future.
Yeah, I think this also addresses people who feel that this area is a bit ulu. I mean, when this plot land, this
it's quite funny, right? It's Ulu Pandan.
when this land comes out, right, actually it will certainly add value towards the area. But back into the project model itself, because the show flat was amazing. For those of you who haven't been to, it's absolutely amazing. The key feature of the developers is that it's 80% landscaping, which means that actually one key points of the project leadership when they mention is that when the residentials look out into the facilities, right, instead of seeing shelters or rooftops of clubhouses, they actually strategically put all these clubhouses under the block. So when you see this entire landscaping, right, it's a lot more greenery, which actually coincides with the Clementi Forest theme as well. And then of course, level 42, the blocks facing Ulu Pandan, is actually 6 to 10 stories higher than Ulu Pandan Road, which means that we are going to have an amazing view towards Clementi Forest, even if you're at level 2, because the very basis of the first residential level is significantly higher than the normal level 1. Okay, but the more important key point of this is Henry Park. Okay, so as of right now, the developers haven't announced that Henry Park will be within this 1 km, but this is very similar to Lentor Hills. Why? It's because amongst 3 blocks, 42 and 38, which means the 2 blocks on the right, is actually within the 1 km radius of Henry Park based on the authority websites lah. But as of right now, it hasn't been released. Very similar to Lentor Hills. Okay, so compared to the neighbor Pine Tree Hill, it's the whole project is within 1 km. So how do you think this will affect the buyers or even the performance of the project? Maybe I start with Charlene first.
How do I think this will perform against, I would assume, against Pine Tree, right? I personally, because I've also been through the whole Lentor phase. We were part of the sales in Lentor Hills.
Correct.
But we actually realized that it doesn't play such a big impact. I think, yes, the initial thing is, of course, everyone, if they can get that Henry Park block, they will definitely try their best. Right? But for now, I would say that, just clarify me if I'm wrong. The Lentor Hills one originally is exactly the same situation as now, where that singular block is not that the entire block didn't have, but it was like it went halfway.
Correct. So same
through
thing.
the block, right?
Same thing.
So, and in the end, after a few months, the government actually did decide to include the rest of the block.
Correct. The whole project. So now the whole project is...
Correct. So I think for Nava, it's the same thing, right? In that singular block, it's actually half again. So yes, I would say that there is still a small risk, but I think that if let's say the pricing point is attractive enough, I would still enter into that block. I wouldn't mind trying and putting my money in there if the price makes sense, right? Because if it has happened once in Lentor, I don't see why it cannot happen again for Nava.
True.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's an inconsistency.
Correct.
Okay. What about you, Amanda?
What was the question again?
How will the uncertainty of Henry Park, maybe I quote uncertainty of Henry Park, affect Nava Grove performance?
I don't think it will affect very much, but of course, advice to consumer, it really depends on your situation. If today you are buying Nava Grove for that one click to Henry Park, then I don't think it's wise to go into Nava Grove head-in. Yeah, because what if you buy and it end up not having that 1 kilometer, then who is to answer that, right? But let's say if today you are buying purely for own stay without the need for the school radius and or really just purely for investment, my answer would be why not? Yeah, the reason why I say why not is also because there is a price discrepancy between Nava Grove as well as Pine Tree Hill. So if today I do not need the 1 km to Henry Park, I don't see why I am not entering into Nava Grove. Yeah.
That's true.
And I just want to add another point is that because aside from Henry Park, there is also another school. Right? Pei Tong. And it's not say Pei Tong is a terrible school. It's still okay. Right? There are people who will still specially buy houses in the area to enroll their kids into Pei Tong as well. But I would just like to make a point is that I think when it comes to be it Pine Tree or Nava, I would like to think that having Henry Park is basically like a bonus. Right? Because to me, right, yes, you're at the corner of Bukit Timah where majority of Henry Park's 1 kilometer radius is in D10, right? But at the same time, I can also see myself as being the corner of D21, which actually by right we are D21 instead of D10. So in that sense, right, actually I am buying into a D21 PSF with a bonus of getting into Henry Park.
No, you put it that way, yeah, correct.
Yeah, it's a bonus because we are D21. Every other project that has Henry Park, right, is D10.
Yes, that's true. And not many projects has this thing. It's either the landed estate, which is like 5-6 million,
More
or
than
this
that.
area. Yeah, even more than that. Or this area, correct?
Because if we look at the surrounding developments that have Henry Park, okay, let's exclude all the landed and let's look a bit nearer into where Ulu Pandan the plots are.
Okay.
The youngest that I can see here is actually Trizon.
Yes.
Right, which is a 2012 project. All right. Now the thing about it is it's actually a very nice development. Like a lot of my clients, we do usually go and see the resale there to make a comparison. But the thing is that it's a 2012 project, and because it's 2012, when we go in, right, there are 2 bedrooms is 1,000 over square feet.
Yeah.
There are 3 bedrooms is close to like 2,000 square feet. And yes, the PSF overall is lower, but because the size is just so big that the quantum usually starts from 3 million to get into the 3 bedroom. Whereas for my Pine Tree or my Nava, I can start at a 2+.
Yep.
Right? So I think there's a very big price gap and opportunity for the mass market to actually give a shot into Henry Park as a bonus.
Actually, this was a good point also. So majority of the areas around the projects around this area, Pandan Valley, which we know it's huge, it's humongous, and of course with a big floor plate, which means that the entry price is easily above 3. I think 4 already. Then of course we have Esther Green, we have Trizon, Cavendish, but the only newest area there with great facilities is what Shani mentioned, Trizon lah. Yeah, so because of that, we do see that Pine Tree Hill and Nava Grove are projects with actually a lot of capital appreciation potential because the entry price is so attractive. Okay, which brings me to the next point. There is a project beside called Pine Grove. Actually, lease-wise, not as healthy. Okay, but of course, bigger floor plates. Like the 3-bedroom there, I have a unit there also around 1,004 square feet. It is significantly bigger Pine Grove. Okay, Pine Grove has been trying to en bloc for some time, and even the nearest one previously, they actually managed to en bloc, just that the price between the residents' expectations and the developers offering price is far. There's a gap. So right now, because of that, Pine Grove hasn't been en bloc yet. Okay, so because of that, then also the buyer sentiments within this area is, well, if this project hasn't been en bloc after so many times, is there a bit of issue within this area? Are the developers not confident of this area? So for me, it can be an opportunity. But for both of you, what do you all think? Maybe Amanda, you first?
I don't think that the reason why Pine Grove en bloc did not go through is because there is an issue with this area. Yeah, but rather I would see it mainly because if I have to point it to a single factor, it would likely be because of the land size. The land size of Pine Grove is humongous. So it's not that developer doesn't want to take it up, but rather not many developer would have the risk appetite to take up this project because all of the developers, no matter whether you take up a small land or a big land, you are subjected to the ABSD deadline. So from a business point of view, I would think that developer is just not willing to take up that risk, coupled with the fact that the price that Pine Grove residences are asking for are not that favorable to the developer end. So in a way, it's like a double negative to the developer. Yeah.
Okay, Shusha?
I think that developers being businessmen, they have to do their calculations as well, right? So you see, right, because for Pine Tree and Nava, it's a government land sale. So the calculations are very simple for us, right? To determine how much most likely developers can launch and whether it makes sense for developers to launch at that pricing. Can they make a decent profit out of it? But looking at Pine Grove, they were asking for close to 2 billion, right? And this is their 5th attempt. And then if we do the calculation, that would actually translate to 1,440 PSF per plot ratio. Right,
which is extremely high for en bloc.
Correct.
Given that it's 99, right?
Correct. And because it's 99, and now if I'm not wrong, the project has about 58 or 59 years left, which means that they have to top up the lease back to 99. So that is an additional factor, costing factor again for them. So when you do all the calculations together, right, how much would then the developer have to price their properties in order for it to sell and be competitive against Pine Tree and Nava, which in this sense, right, if you do the calculation, right, the gap would be significantly big. Yeah. So for all Nava Grove or Pine Tree buyers, maybe you can see this as an opportunity, because it also means that, you know, developers are willing to buy in, right? But it's just that as of now, it's too high, but it doesn't mean that they are not interested or completely ignoring this land just because it's not in a good location. They want to enter, but it's just that the asking price as of now, together with the lease top up, it just doesn't make sense.
And the proximity to Pine Tree Hill as well as Nava Grove doesn't put the developer in a very good position lah, because the rest of the developer, UOL as well as MCL, bought in at 1,200. Nava Grove bought in at 1,200.
Correct.
And then as a Pine Grove developer, I bought in at 1,400 plus lease top up.
And I still have to tear down the whole building first, which is cost again. So there's a lot of factors that created this outcome of not allowing the en bloc to happen. So it's really not because of the location. It's a numbers thing. Yeah.
Maybe something I also want to bring out is that based on 3-bedroom, right? Okay, Pine Tree Hills floor plan, it's 3-bedroom, and then next one is a 3-bedroom premium plus study. Okay, whereas for Nava, actually they have that middle sweet spot with a 3-bedroom premium, whereas you don't need to have a study, but you have a bomb shelter, which is something that Pine Tree as of right now still don't have. Compared to the rest of the area, this might be the only 3-bedroom with bomb shelter within the whole cluster lah. So do you guys see this as an opportunity? If you guys were an investor, would you settle for these type of 3-bedrooms?
Yeah, I think as someone that is living in a 2-bedroom with no storage at the moment, I think this is gonna be like, this is gonna seal the deal for me if I had the money. Yeah, because it's very rare to get 3-bedrooms compact layout with any form of storage in today's market. Yeah, so to have that, I think it's a very, very big bonus because 3-bedrooms, especially if you're looking at this kind of region, we are targeting small families. Small families means it's going to come with bicycles lah. They're going to come with a whole bunch of children's stuff that they need storage for. Otherwise, what you'll end up seeing, right, is the common staircase is going to be stored with a bunch of kids' items like all around, laying everywhere, being very messy. So I think this is I love it. I love that they managed to put in a storeroom even for the smaller units. Yeah, and one of the things I just want to point out that is that what Nava Grove has is actually a dumbbell 3-bedroom. Yeah, that Pine Tree didn't have. Recently, I've had quite a few clients that are starting to be really inclined to the dumbbell layouts. Yeah, for the tree, and I was looking at the market around for them, and I realized that it's really very, very rare to have the dumbbell tree. Yeah, in this kind of location. So this is something that's very unique, and in the future, in the resale market, should anybody, young families, they want to come in, they want to maximize the space and everything, right? They will be looking at this specific layout, which would be, like a advantage for you lah in the resale market in the future.
Amanda?
If the choice is to choose between the 3-bedroom premium at Nava Grove versus Pine Tree Hill 3-bed plus study, I would choose the 3-bedroom premium at Nava Grove as well. The main reason is because of price. For the 3-bedroom premium at Nava Grove, it is starting from 2.468, whereas at the 3-bedroom plus study in Pine Tree, it is starting at about 2.9. So that gives us a gap of about $500,000. So to me, I wouldn't pay $500,000 just for a study. To me, whether it's because a study is just like another storeroom in a way, right? So I wouldn't pay $500,000 for a storeroom when $500,000 is actually the profits of many good performing projects already. Yeah, but of course, if we were to go to the different unit types, then that's a different thing altogether that we need to analyze one by one lah.
Okay, so comparing these few new launches within this area, so RCR for Nava Grove, then for EOK is also another RCR, Ranchon Park is another OCR project. How would you guys choose or advise your investors going into this new launch Q4 between all these projects coming up? Maybe start with Charlene first.
So you have to choose one, is it? We can do 3, 2, 1 again.
Okay, you do 3, 2, 1. So
based
you guys can rank.
3-bedroom. What's the
based on 3-bedroom, investors looking for 3-bedroom between these 3 projects, how would you go for it? Should I face my question properly?
Yeah, I think that's okay. I think that's okay.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Based on 3, 2, 1 ranking. And so you want me to say the question again?
No, 3, 2, 1. What project?
We say lah. We say is it? Also 3, 2, 1. We say the project lah. Okay, 3, 2, 1. We say 3, 2, 1.
Nava Grove.
What is it?
Nava.
Oh, yo, why always like that?
No, but it depends because you mentioned specifically 3.
Yes.
Yeah, if it was 2 or more, right, then I would have gone into EOK or fun. Yeah, but if it's 3, 4, 5, is there a 5?
There is a 5.
Yeah, then I would choose Nava.
Yeah, because there is the lack of the floor plan in terms of that lack of supply of floor plan. You feel 3 as a great opportunity.
Not so much on that, but because you're talking about investment and investment for the 3 bedrooms, the bigger units. So generally, actually, the correct thing that we should be doing is because even if we buy a house, it doesn't guarantee a 1 kilometer radius into the school. Just because you got the address doesn't mean you get in. Like it's a guaranteed thing. So actually, what a lot of people they should be doing is we should be renting in that location first. So once they start renting, it's going to be 30 months, right? Before you can use the address. So when they rent for 30 months, that's already 2.5 years of guaranteed rental, right? From a family profile. And then from there, after that, when everything is done already, then they will go in and make their purchase, right? So I think that there will be a very steady flow of rental demands in the bigger units for Nava or Pine Tree. Yeah. Whereas for EOK or Trump Park, that kind, I do foresee that the smaller units, like the 2 bedrooms, that kind, will do better in the rental market because they are very close to the town area where you get a lot of professionals that they don't want to pay the rental town price, but they want to be close enough. So they always end up being in the Circle Line or in District 15, where it's going to just be like a 15-minute MRT journey to town, to the office. Right? Yeah. But when it comes to big units, then I would choose my Ulu Pandan.
Okay. What about you, Amanda?
I choose, if I have to be investing into a 3-bedder, I choose Nava Grove, mainly because of price. Because at Nava Grove, even if Nava Grove were to launch at 2324, it's still something that is very attractive to me. Because at the RCR new launch market, we are looking at an average about 2.6. So I see that the price gap between Nava as well as the rest of the new launch in the RCR, the gap between both of them will be an opportunity for those who buy into Nava. I see history repeating itself in a way that when Momentum Park was launched, there is also this situation where Momentum Park was launched at only about 1.7, and at that time RCR new launch market was launching at about 2.1. And I believe that's the key reason why Momentum Park earned quite a bit of profits from there, even though it does not even have any school within 1 kilometer and it does not have MRT. It's nowhere near anywhere.
Okay, that's good. Okay, for me, to end it off, to come in a conclusion, this is our longest podcast so far, 37 minutes. Okay, so for me, it's based on a mixture of what Amanda mentioned is the price gap. Within this area, we are at the lowest entry, and then as what Charlene mentioned, the next entry, people looking to 3.54 million into this area, which for most people it is quite an amount to bring up. So given that there's an opportunity, if you can enter at a 2002, 2003 PSF into this area, regardless of how big my neighbor's floor plate is, sometimes people don't even need that big of a size. They just need a 2-bedroom. Right, so this is an opportunity around the area. Then as well for rental, okay, I personally think there is so much schools around this area. There is SIM, there is NIAN, there is SUSS, there is even our NUS and SP. So based on the number of students, which a lot of them are actually renting in Trizon around the area, and then of course even for the professionals, the lecturers, the teachers around this area, the rental is going to be very different. Right, in terms of proximity towards these schools, 1-2 bus stops away, which Nava is just there is a bus stop right outside. So I think in terms of rental opportunities, this is something for investors to consider as well. Okay, then within this area, the supply is also not as much. The next closest thing coming up within this area is Clementi, which PSF wise I think would be significantly higher. Other than that, it will just be Holland Village. There is a new plot coming at Holland area, which is
about 2.8.
Correct, 2.8. Yeah. Actually, now the 2-bedroom recently sold, one Holland Village was about 2.2 million already. So in terms of price gap, well, around this area, new launch, I don't see anything coming in cheaper, more affordable. So I think that's an opportunity for buyers coming to this area. Okay, then to end it off, anything else from both of you? Amanda, Charlene?
Percentage sold.
Percentage sold. Oh my god, yeah. Oh, this is tricky. There is a lot of products, quarter 4. When Pine Tree launched, we are looking about 20%. Now Pine Tree is almost empty.
Now I think 70 plus.
Yeah, Pine Tree 70 plus already. When Pine Tree was just launched, it was around the let me check, 20%. Right. So for Nava, what do you think? Actually, some projects when it just launched, people don't see into it. But when Pine Tree launched was 29%. So now Pine Tree is almost 80% already. So actually the difference is quite big within this 1 year. So in terms of Nava Grove, 3, 2, 1, we set a percentage, okay?
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, 50.
65.
Oh.
I was gonna say like 30 something.
65, 50, how about you?
Like 30, 34, 35.
Okay, maybe we just ask you lah.
Why?
Because you're lowest, ma.
Okay, because there will always be the group of people who are just very concerned over public transport, because this is something that is screwed in many people's mind.
Correct, just
right?
like us when we just started.
Correct. Like the basic few things that you need in order for any development to grow in pricing is one of them is public transportation. Yeah, so no matter how you see it, right? And because the preview, you only have 2 weeks to convince your clients, right? So there will be a few people that will still be lacking behind, in their decision, because they just can't get over the fact.
Okay.
But I think that I pushed up from 20 to 30 plus AD was because I think that Pine Tree's performance throughout the year has put in more confidence in the public also, and it's created more awareness throughout Singaporeans about this location itself. Yeah, and actually the name doesn't help at all, saying it's Ulu Pandan. Yeah, so I would think that yes, there's been a bit more confidence now in this location. People are starting to understand the demographics they are buying to this location. That it's not just because of a low PSF, but actually looking around you on a bigger picture, there is actually so much opportunities out there, from the schools, the tenant pools, right? The big families are actually looking in here. The landed enclave, how much money do these landed enclave people have that they would want to venture in? And of course, one of the things to note is for this kind of developments, right? Usually they do better in the resale market.
Yes, that's true.
They move faster because a lot of the buyers are actually families, and not every family has the flexibility or the luxury of time to wait 3-4 years for it to build. Yeah, so if you're one of those that have this kind of flexibility, then you should definitely enter. Yeah, because this is when you have your fastest run for your capital appreciation. Yeah, then when it TOP, families can finally see the actual thing. That's when you will see your profits as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair point. Amanda?
The most confident one.
65%.
I am so confident that it will sell well. Definitely way better when Pine Tree Hill was launched. Mainly because of the timing. Because Nava Grove was launched right after many launches that have already come and gone. So we have reserve residences at BT as well as Pine Tree Hill. So in terms of price wise, it really, for people that are looking into the Clementi, the Ulu Pandan area, there's no reason other than what Charlene mentioned, which is, I may not have the luxury to commit now. Other than this group of people, there's no reason why I would say no to going in at such a price. And I also see it as a case of a Norwood Grand, where when the price is right, no matter the location, people will go in. Yeah.
Okay, then that brings us to the end of the episode. So for the audience out there, if you want to know more about new launch or projects coming up, just comment down below, and then we will see you on the next video. Bye.